Question 1. What is the primary difference between first-party and third-party coverage in a cyber insurance policy? A. First-party coverage covers losses incurred by a third party, while third-party coverage covers the insurer's client. B. First-party coverage covers the policyholder's own losses, while third-party coverage addresses the claims of others against the policyholder. C. First-party coverage is related to network security, while third-party coverage is related to business interruption. D. First-party coverage is typically cheaper than third-party coverage. Answer: B. First-party coverage covers the policyholder's own losses, while third-party coverage addresses the claims of others against the policyholder. Explanation: First-party coverage is designed to protect the insured entity from losses it incurs directly due to a cyber incident, such as data breaches or ransomware attacks. This includes business interruption, costs associated with data recovery, and reputational harm. Third-party coverage, on the other hand, protects the insured from liability arising from damages to others such as customers, partners, or clients. This can include the costs of defending lawsuits, settlements, or fines resulting from the breach of customer data or other third-party liabilities. Question 2. Mr. Walker's company experienced a data breach compromising sensitive customer data. He immediately initiated an incident response plan, IRP, contacting both the internal IT team and an external cybersecurity consultant. The company has cyber insurance, but the breach is significant. Which of the following is the best course of action Mr. Walker should take next? A. Report the incident to the insurance provider and initiate a claim for business interruption loss. B. Wait for the cybersecurity consultant to complete the investigation before notifying affected customers. C. Inform customers of the breach and offer them free identity monitoring services without notifying the insurance provider. D. Proceed to adjust the claim without involving any third-party forensics experts. Answer: A. Report the incident to the insurance provider and initiate a claim for business interruption loss. Explanation: In the event of a data breach, it is critical for Mr. Walker to inform the insurance provider immediately. The insurer may have specific requirements for managing a claim, including the involvement of forensics experts to assess the extent of the damage. Additionally, business interruption loss is a common component of cyber insurance policies, covering losses from operational downtime caused by a breach. Promptly reporting the incident will ensure the insurance provider can assist in mitigating further financial impact. Question 3. Which of the following security measures would be the most effective in mitigating the risk of a ransomware attack targeting sensitive company data? A. Regularly updating antivirus software to detect known malware and prevent attacks. B. Encrypting all sensitive data both in transit and at rest, making it unusable if breached. C. Increasing the company's insurance coverage limits for cyber liability. D. Educating employees about phishing tactics and implementing multi-factor authentication (MFA) for accessing sensitive systems. Answer: B. Encrypting all sensitive data, both in transit and at rest, making it unusable if breached. Explanation: While antivirus software and educating employees are important components of a comprehensive cybersecurity strategy, encryption provides a crucial layer of protection in the event of a ransomware attack. If data is encrypted, even if an attacker gains access to it, they will not be able to use it without the decryption keys. Encrypting data at rest and in transit ensures that data is unreadable if intercepted or stolen, providing a strong defense against ransomware attacks that aim to hold sensitive data hostage. Although increasing insurance coverage and MFA are useful, they do not directly prevent a breach or mitigate the specific threat of ransomware attacks. Question 4. Which of the following is the most significant advantage of implementing multi-factor authentication (MFA) as part of a company's cybersecurity measures? A. It provides a comprehensive backup for encrypted data storage. B. It helps to reduce the likelihood of unauthorized access by requiring multiple forms of verification. C. It ensures compliance with GDPR and other privacy regulations automatically. D. It eliminates the need for antivirus software. Answer: B. It helps to reduce the likelihood of unauthorized access by requiring multiple forms of verification. Explanation: Multi-factor authentication (MFA) enhances security by requiring users to provide 2 or more verification factors before granting access to systems or data. This significantly reduces the chances of unauthorized access as a single compromised factor, G. Password is not enough to gain entry. MFA is not directly tied to GDPR compliance or a replacement for antivirus software, but it is a critical component in preventing breaches caused by stolen credentials. MFA might involve a combination of something you know, password, something you have mobile device, and something you are, fingerprint or facial recognition. Question 5. Which of the following regulatory frameworks is specifically designed to protect personal health information and would be most relevant for an organization dealing with healthcare data in South Carolina? CCPA, California Consumer Privacy Act. B. NIST Cybersecurity Framework. C. HIPAA, Health Insurance Portability and Accountability Act. D. ISO 27001. Answer: C. HIPAA, Health Insurance Portability and Accountability Act. Explanation: HIPAA is a U.S. regulation specifically designed to protect the privacy and security of individuals' health information. It applies to healthcare providers, insurers, and other entities that deal with protected health information. 5. CCPA focuses on consumer privacy rights in California, while NIST provides general cybersecurity guidelines, but is not specific to healthcare. ISO 27001 is an international standard for information security management systems, ISMS, but it does not specifically address healthcare data protection like HIPAA does. Question 6. Which of the following best describes the purpose of a business continuity plan (BCP) in the context of a cyber insurance policy? A. It is designed to outline the organization's procedures for claiming insurance payouts after cyber incident. B. It helps organizations identify and recover critical business functions following a disruption, including those caused by cyber incidents. C. It provides guidelines for reducing insurance premiums by improving risk management processes. D. It only applies to physical disasters and not cyber-related incidents. Answer: B. It helps organizations identify and recover critical business functions following a disruption, including those caused by cyber incidents. Explanation: a business continuity plan (BCP) outlines how an organization will continue its operations during and after cyber incident or other types of disruptions. The plan ensures that essential business functions, such as customer communications and financial operations, can resume as quickly as possible. A well-prepared BCP is critical for minimizing the impact of cyber incidents on a company's operations and may be a factor in determining the scope of coverage for business interruption losses under a cyber insurance policy. The plan is not solely for insurance claims or physical disasters. Question 7. Mr. Dyers is a cyber insurance underwriter evaluating a company's cybersecurity posture. He is reviewing the company's risk assessments, security protocols, and past incident reports. What is the most important factor for Mr. Dyers to consider when determining the appropriate coverage limits for the company's cyber insurance? A. The company's total annual revenue and employee count. B. The types of third-party vendors the company works with and their cybersecurity practices. C. The company's risk exposure based on the industry's threat landscape and its ability to mitigate risks. D. The company's existing insurance premiums for other lines of coverage. Answer: C. The company's risk exposure based on the industry's threat landscape and its ability to mitigate risks. Explanation: when determining the appropriate coverage limits for cyber insurance, the most crucial factor is the company's exposure to cyber risks based on the industry it operates in and the specific risks it faces, e.g., financial data, healthcare data. An understanding of the company's cybersecurity posture, including its risk mitigation efforts and vulnerabilities, plays a significant role in deciding coverage levels. Although revenue, employee count, and vendor security practices may be relevant, they are secondary to understanding the organization's actual cyber risk exposure. The existing premiums for other insurance lines are not typically a determining factor for cyber insurance coverage limits. Question 8. Which of the following best describes the concept of cyber extortion (ICA cyber insurance policy? A. Cyber extortion involves hackers attempting to disrupt an organization's operations by shutting down critical systems. B. Cyber extortion refers to a third party demanding a ransom payment in exchange for not disclosing sensitive data or causing harm to the organization's digital assets. C. Cyber extortion is the process of recovering stolen data through legal means. D. Cyber extortion is covered by general liability insurance policies and is not specific to cyber insurance. Answer: B. Cyber extortion refers to a third party demanding a ransom payment in exchange for not disclosing sensitive data or causing harm to the organization's digital assets. Explanation. Cyber extortion involves attackers threatening to release, sell, or destroy an organization's data unless a ransom is paid. This can include threats to expose sensitive customer information, intellectual property, or operational data. The risk of cyber extortion is specifically covered under cyber insurance policies, usually in the form of coverage for ransom demands, crisis management, and data recovery efforts. General liability policies do not cover cyber extortion as they are focused on physical property and bodily injury claims, not digital threats. Question 9. Which of the following cyber risks is most likely to result in significant financial losses for an organization due to a lack of appropriate cyber insurance coverage? A. A minor data breach involving a few customers' names and addresses. B. A ransomware attack that locks down critical business systems and demands payment for restoration. C. The loss of an employee's laptop with unencrypted customer data. D. A website being temporarily unavailable for maintenance. Answer. B. A ransomware attack that locks down critical business systems and demands payment for restoration. Explanation. Ransomware attacks can cause significant financial losses due to operational downtime, reputational damage, and the cost of the ransom demand itself. The inability to recover data quickly can lead to prolonged disruptions in business operations. Unlike a minor data breach or a lost laptop, which may have manageable financial impacts or be mitigated with smaller scale insurance coverage, ransomware attacks are typically large scale incidents that result in both immediate and long-term financial consequences. Cyber insurance can cover ransom payments, data recovery costs, and business interruption losses associated with such attacks. Question 10. Which of the following guidelines is typically used in cyber insurance underwriting to assess an organization's cybersecurity maturity and the likelihood of a breach? A. Financial audits and annual revenue figures. B. Cyber risk scoring models that evaluate an organization's threat exposure and risk mitigation measures. C. Insurance policy limits and exclusions for cyber incidents. D. The organization's customer satisfaction survey results. Answer. B. Cyber risk scoring models that evaluate an organization's threat exposure and risk mitigation measures. Explanation. Cyber risk scoring models are used to assess an organization's overall cybersecurity maturity by evaluating factors such as the strength of its security controls, past incident history, threat exposure, and how well it mitigates risks. These models help underwriters predict the likelihood of a cyber incident occurring and determine appropriate coverage and premium rates. Financial audits, policy limits, and customer satisfaction surveys do not directly assess cybersecurity risks or threats, making them less relevant in the underwriting process for cyber insurance. Question 11. Which of the following is an example of a cyber liability risk that is typically covered under a cyber liability insurance policy? A. Damage to physical property caused by a natural disaster. B. Data breach involving unauthorized access to personal or financial information. C. Bodily injury resulting from the use of a company's faulty product. D. Loss of market share due to poor customer service. Answer. B. Data breach involving unauthorized access to personal or financial information. Explanation. Cyber liability insurance typically covers risks related to data breaches such as unauthorized access to or theft of sensitive information like personal or financial data. Other risks, such as physical property damage from natural disasters, bodily injury, or loss of market share, would fall under different types of insurance, e.g., property or general liability insurance. Question 12. What is the primary purpose of conducting a vulnerability assessment within an organization's cybersecurity framework? A. To ensure compliance with industry regulations. B. To evaluate the effectiveness of firewalls and antivirus software. C. To identify and prioritize potential weaknesses in the system that could be exploited by attackers. D. To determine the financial cost of recovering from a cyber attack. Answer. C. To identify and prioritize potential weaknesses in the system that could be exploited by attackers. Explanation. A vulnerability assessment helps identify weaknesses in an organization's systems, networks, or applications that attackers could exploit. It focuses on identifying risks, such as unpatched software, weak passwords, and unsecured network configurations, and prioritizing them based on the severity and potential impact. While vulnerability assessments can support compliance efforts, their primary goal is to prevent security breaches. Question 13. Which of the following is the most appropriate response when an organization discovers a cyber incident that involves the compromise of sensitive customer data? A. Ignore the breach and continue normal business operations. B. Notify affected customers and regulatory bodies as required by law and investigate the breach. C. Only notify customers if they request information. D. Immediately sue the party responsible for the breach. Answer. B. Notify affected customers and regulatory bodies as required by law and investigate the breach. Explanation. In the event of a data breach, organizations are legally obligated to notify affected customers and relevant regulatory bodies, e.g., under laws like GDPR or UPA. This allows affected individuals to take protective measures and ensures that the organization complies with legal requirements. Ignoring the breach or taking no action could result in legal penalties and further damage to the organization's reputation. Question 14. Which of the following actions is an example of a proactive approach to preventing cyber threats in an organization? A. Conducting a post-incident forensic investigation after a cyber attack. B. Running regular phishing simulation tests to train employees on how to recognize phishing attempts. C. Only updating security software when a breach occurs. D. Ignoring minor system vulnerabilities to save on security costs. Answer. B. Running regular phishing simulation tests to train employees on how to recognize phishing attempts. Explanation. A proactive approach to cybersecurity includes taking steps to prevent incidents before they occur. Running phishing simulation tests helps educate employees about the risks of phishing and trains them to recognize and avoid phishing attempts. This type of training strengthens the organization's human defenses against social engineering attacks. Post-incident investigations and neglecting security software updates are reactive, not proactive approaches. Question 15. Which of the following best describes the term business interruption coverage in a cyber insurance policy? A. Coverage for the physical repair of damaged computer hardware. B. Protection for the company's revenue lost during an incident that prevents normal business operations. C. Insurance for legal fees associated with defending against cybercrime charges. D. Coverage for personal injuries sustained during a cyber attack. Answer. B. Protection for the company's revenue lost during an incident that prevents normal business operations. Explanation. Business interruption coverage in cyber insurance policies compensates organizations for revenue lost when their business operations are disrupted by a cyber incident, such as a ransomware attack. This type of coverage helps ensure that the company can maintain its financial stability while recovering from the attack. It does not cover physical repairs, legal fees, or personal injuries related to cyber events. Question 16. Which type of malware is designed to hold a company's data hostage and demand a ransom payment for its release? A. Virus. B. Trojan. C. Ransomware. D. Worm. Answer. C. Ransomware. Explanation. Ransomware is a type of malware that encrypts or locks a company's data and demands a ransom payment for its release. The attacker typically threatens to permanently delete or release the data if the ransom is not paid. Unlike viruses, worms, or Trojans, ransomware specifically targets the victim's data and holds it hostage. Question 17. What is the primary benefit of using encryption for sensitive data in transit and at rest? A. It ensures compliance with financial regulations. B. It helps to protect the data from unauthorized access, both during transmission and when stored. C. It increases the data's size, making it harder to access. D. It enables the data to be shared more easily with third parties. Answer. B. It helps to protect the data from unauthorized access, both during transmission and when stored. Explanation. Encryption is a key security measure used to protect sensitive data from unauthorized access. By encrypting data in transit while it's being transferred over networks and at rest while it's stored on servers, organizations ensure that even if the data is intercepted or accessed by unauthorized parties, it remains unreadable without the decryption key. This protection is essential for safeguarding customer information and complying with privacy regulations. Question 18. Which of the following is the most common cause of data breaches in small and medium-sized businesses (SMBs)? A. Natural disasters. B. Unintentional employee actions, such as sending sensitive data to the wrong recipient. C. Cyber attacks from nation-state actors. D. Malfunctioning hardware or software. Answer. B. Unintentional employee actions, such as sending sensitive data to the wrong recipient. Explanation. The most common cause of data breaches in SMBS is human error, such as employees accidentally sending sensitive information to the wrong email address or failing to follow proper data protection protocols. While cyber attacks and technical failures do occur, employee mistakes are often the weakest link in an organization's cybersecurity defenses. Question 19. In the context of cyber insurance, which of the following is typically excluded from coverage? A. Losses resulting from a breach of customer data. B. Costs associated with investigating and responding to a cyber incident. C. Financial losses due to a cyber attack involving customer credit card fraud. D. Losses related to intentional criminal acts by employees or executives. Answer: D. Losses related to intentional criminal acts by employees or executives. Explanation: cyber insurance typically excludes coverage for losses resulting from intentional acts of fraud or criminal behavior committed by employees or executives. These acts are considered to be willful misconduct and are generally not covered under the policy. The other options, including data breaches, investigation costs, and credit card fraud, are typically covered under most cyber insurance policies. Question 20. Where's a zero-day vulnerability in the context of cybersecurity? A. A vulnerability that is discovered and patched on the same day. B. A vulnerability that is known to the public but not yet exploited by attackers. C. A vulnerability that has been identified but not yet disclosed to the software vendor. D. A vulnerability that has been exploited by attackers before a patch is available. Answer: D. A vulnerability that has been exploited by attackers before a patch is available. Explanation: a zero-day vulnerability is a security flaw in software or hardware that is exploited by attackers before the software vendor becomes aware of it and issues a patch. These vulnerabilities are particularly dangerous because there are no defenses in place to prevent exploitation until a patch is developed and distributed. The term zero-day refers to the fact that the vendor has had 0 days to fix the flaw before it is exploited. Question 21. Which of the following is an example of a social engineering attack? A. A hacker exploiting a software vulnerability to steal data. B. A hacker tricking an employee into revealing their login credentials via a phishing email. C. A hacker gaining access to a network through an unsecured Wi-Fi connection. D. A hacker using malware to lock a system and demand a ransom. Answer: B. A hacker tricking an employee into revealing their login credentials via a phishing email. Explanation: social engineering involves manipulating individuals into divulging confidential information, typically through deceptive means like phishing, pretexting, or baiting. Phishing emails are a common form of social engineering where attackers trick victims into revealing sensitive information such as login credentials. Question 22. Which of the following is the primary goal of a denial of service DOS attack? A. To steal sensitive data. B. To block legitimate access to a system or network. C. To install malware on a target system. D. To demand payment for releasing encrypted data. Answer: B. To block legitimate access to a system or network. Explanation: a denial of service DOS attack aims to disrupt the normal functioning of a system, website, or network by overwhelming it with traffic, making it unavailable to legitimate users. The goal is not to steal data or install malware, but to cause a disruption or shutdown. Question 23. Which of the following is a key principle of least privilege in cybersecurity? A. Users should have access to all data they might need, even if it exceeds their roles' responsibilities. B. Users should have the minimum level of access necessary to perform their job functions. C. Users should be allowed to make decisions on what access they require for their role. D. Users should be provided with access to all areas of the system for flexibility. Answer: B. Users should have the minimum level of access necessary to perform their job functions. Explanation: the principle of least privilege dictates that users and systems should be granted the minimum level of access required to perform their tasks, reducing the potential attack surface and limiting damage if credentials are compromised. Question 24. Which of the following is an example of a data encryption? A. A password is hashed and stored in a secure database. B. An email message is sent in plain text over the internet. C. A file is transformed into a scrambled form that is unreadable without a decryption key. D. A user is required to answer a security question to access an account. Answer: C. A file is transformed into a scrambled form that is unreadable without a decryption key. Explanation: data encryption involves converting data into a scrambled or unreadable form such that only authorized users with the decryption key can access or read it. This ensures data privacy and integrity during transmission or storage. Question 25. What does the term phishing refer to in the context of cybersecurity? A. Using spyware to monitor users' activities. B. Sending fraudulent emails or messages to trick recipients into disclosing sensitive information. C. Installing malware on a victim's system without their knowledge. D. Using brute force methods to guess passwords and access accounts. Answer. B. Sending fraudulent emails or messages to trick recipients into disclosing sensitive information. Explanation. Phishing is a form of social engineering attack where attackers impersonate legitimate entities via email or messages to trick individuals into revealing personal information such as usernames, passwords, and credit card details. Question 26. Which of the following cybersecurity controls is most effective in preventing unauthorized access to sensitive information? A. Antivirus software. B. Multi-factor authentication (MFA). C. Firewalls. D. Security audits. Answer. B. Multi-factor authentication (MFA). Explanation. Multi-factor authentication (MFA) significantly enhances security by requiring users to provide multiple forms of identification, e.g., something they know, something they have, and something they are, before gaining access to a system. This makes it harder for attackers to gain unauthorized access, even if they have compromised a password. Question 27. What is a firewall in the context of cybersecurity? A. A device that physically isolates a network from external threats. B. A system that scans emails for viruses and malware. C. A network security device that monitors and controls incoming and outgoing traffic based on security rules. D. A software application that encrypts sensitive files. Answer. C. A network security device that monitors and controls incoming and outgoing traffic based on security rules. Explanation. A firewall is a network security device that monitors and filters traffic based on predefined security rules. It can prevent unauthorized access to or from a private network, helping protect systems from cyber attacks and other malicious activity. Question 28. Which of the following would be considered a cybersecurity incident that might require response under cyber liability insurance policy? A. A user forgetting their password. B. A server crash due to hardware failure. C. Unauthorized access to an employee's email account by a malicious actor. D. A customer canceling a subscription to a service. Answer. C. Unauthorized access to an employee's email account by a malicious actor. Explanation. A cybersecurity incident involves any event that compromises the confidentiality, integrity, or availability of data or systems. Unauthorized access to an employee's email account is a cyber incident because it could result in a data breach exposing sensitive information. Question 29. Which of the following is an example of a physical security measure used to protect against cyber threats? A. Encryption of sensitive files. B. Limiting access to secure areas with locked doors or biometric authentication. C. Using strong passwords for network access. D. Monitoring network traffic for unusual activity. Answer. B. Limiting access to secure areas with locked doors or biometric authentication. Explanation. Physical security measures are designed to protect against unauthorized physical access to systems, hardware, or networks. Limiting access to secure areas, such as server rooms, through locked doors or biometric authentication ensures that only authorized personnel can access sensitive equipment. Question 30. What is a zero-trust security model? A model where users are trusted by default if they are inside the organization's network. B. A model that assumes all internal and external network traffic is untrusted and requires verification. C. A model that requires employees to trust one another and share sensitive information freely. D. A model that focuses solely on protecting the physical perimeter of a network. Answer. B. A model that assumes all internal and external network traffic is untrusted and requires verification. Explanation. The zero-trust security model assumes that both internal and external network traffic cannot be trusted by default. Every access request, whether from inside or outside the network, is thoroughly verified before granting access. This approach limits the damage caused by security breaches and ensures that malicious actors cannot easily move within a network.